what skills do you think that you have or that you developed that made you successful? I know you guys none of them like to talk about themselves, so I'm going to prod a little bit here, but what skills do you think make you successful?
In the recording studio more than anything else, and I don't know if this is your experience too, but just being able to sit with people for 24 hours a day straight and not having them want to kill you is like kind of one of the biggest things. It's just not being likable, you know, being sort of, and it's just not like friendly and like quirky, whatever, just being able to read what's going on in a room and really be very aware of do people want to be alone? Do people want to be kind of complimented? Do people want to, you know, like just being super, super, super aware of the producers you're with, the artists you're with, how they want to be treated. And if you can kind of just read that, they'll want you back, you know, because they're so sensitive to that. That to me is like a really important thing.
Along the lines of being able to be in a room, I had this particular producer actually say to me, and I believed it, when I have to see you, you reduce my creative energy by 10%. When I have to speak to you, you reduce it by 30%. Now that sounds insulting, and it was, and I didn't recognize just how insulting it was at the time, but it also was true. And what it meant was, I need you in this room, I recognize your skills, I don't want to see you and I don't want to talk to you, I just want you to do it. I want you to sit by that tape machine, assess takes, and when I say to you then, do an edit. You're not going to be called out like, here's my new engineer, isn't she lovely? Make an edit, play it back, there will be no applause when it's great or if it's poor. And so to be in the room, effective, invisible, funny when necessary, but basically entirely invisible in my experience, but doing this, having the skill that was required, and that was my way in as I cut tape and I could punch. I wasn't afraid to punch a vocal or punch something that, again, if you messed it up, you messed it up. You couldn't go back. So I had those skills, and again, now they're not relevant, but they certainly were then.
I agree with the same, answers that they gave. It's adapting to a situation. It's studying the artist. There's no rules at the end of the day. I think there's 50 ways to engineer or track a vocal. You just have to adjust and adapt to who's coming in, who's the producer, who's the artist, how long are you in for, what inspires them, are you in for 20 hours a day with them, and just adapt to the situation. If you're working with an artist, like I work with Alicia, she expects engineers to understand song arrangements. There's a lot of people that are working with Pro Tools nowadays where they're copying and pasting 8 bars. They don't understand the song arrangement. They don't know what copy and paste the pickup of the first chorus over the second chorus is. So it's like a lot of those kind of situations where I work with someone like Max Martin and we block record line for line. So it's just being able to be versatile and organized. I write all my, all my notes down to what studio I'm at, my microphones, my playlists per verse, what they are, and I make myself notes, so when I'm asked, what take was that? Oh, this was that take in a playlist, and this comes off, as being organized and that you understand, you understand the producer, and, you're not there taking your time and messing the vibe and the flow up, you just, you keep it moving, so.
Now you have to understand, all 3 of these women are right in the middle of big projects. You've got Anne, who just opened up a monster studio. Trina is in the middle of Brandy Carlisle record, right? And Emily just finished up Brittany. So they're like, for them to get here was like, they're juggling so much stuff just to get here, and they're on time. They know exactly what they're going to talk about. They're in the right room, blah, blah, blah. So there's that kind of expectation that has to happen amongst like their crazy schedule they can get here. And so I think that speaks to, that kind of ties it all together, that organization and that focus. I know Trina and I were talking for a long time about, because I think that's a major skill in my work, was that you can focus literally for, sometimes 20 hours at a time on the same thing. And if people have a hard time believing you can do that, and it's hard, and that's why we're on so much caffeine all the time, but I mean, it's just, you know, you really have to stay super focused. You're not hanging out talking with artists. And I think your comments of, you know, not taking up a lot of space. You know, it's a service industry. I hate to say it, but it's a cool service industry. But you know, you're helping someone create art, and that means that I think if you require a lot of attention, you might need to be on the artist side. I come from the artist side, so I know what that feels like. So yeah, you can take up a lot of space as an artist, sure, but as an engineer producer, no, we're serving other people.